Welcome to the Health Headliner podcast by Tudu Digital. Our content is informational only and not medical advice. Please consult your provider. Now, let's dive into today's headlines.
What if I told you there's a simple dietary change you can make during pregnancy that could drastically reduce your baby's risk of developing food allergies?
Well, that's a pretty bold claim. Food allergies are a complex issue with many contributing factors.
You're absolutely right, but recent research is starting to suggest that what a mother eats during pregnancy might have a bigger impact on her child's future allergy risk than we previously thought.
Oh, that's interesting. So what kind of dietary change are we talking about? Some superfood or a restrictive elimination diet?
Actually, it might be even simpler than that. We're diving into some fascinating research that points to a possible link between eating avocados during pregnancy and a lower chance of babies developing food allergies.
Avocados? Really? I'm intrigued.
We were too, which is why we've dug into both a recent health news report highlighting this study and the actual scientific paper itself published in Pediatric Research.
Excellent. So let's break this down. What exactly did this study find? How did they conduct the research, and what are the implications?
Exactly. Our goal today is to unpack this research for you. We'll explore what it might mean for expectant parents and think critically about the information at hand.
Sounds good. I'm all ears.
So let's start with the basics. What were these researchers trying to figure out?
Well, their main aim was to investigate whether there's a relationship between how many avocados a mother eats during pregnancy and her baby's chances of developing certain allergic health issues.
Okay, and which specific allergies were they looking at?
They focused on four main conditions in the first year of life: rhinitis, which is inflammation of the nose; paroxysmal wheezing, essentially sudden episodes of whistling breathing; eczema, a skin condition causing itching and dryness; and most importantly, food allergies.
Got it. So how did they go about studying this? What was their research method?
They used a prospective cohort study design, meaning they tracked a group of pregnant women and their babies over time to see who developed these allergic conditions. The data came from a large ongoing study in Finland called the Kuopio Birth Cohort Study.
Ah, a long-term study. That's helpful for understanding the sequence of events.
Exactly. They included over 2,000 pregnant women who answered detailed questionnaires about their food intake during both their first and third trimesters.
Okay, so they had information about what these women were eating at different stages of their pregnancies. How did they categorize avocado consumption?
They divided the women into two groups: avocado consumers and non-consumers. If a woman reported eating any avocados at all during either trimester, she was classified as a consumer.
And I assume the non-consumers reported no avocado intake at all.
Precisely. Then, when the babies turned 12 months old, the mothers completed another questionnaire about whether their child had experienced any of those four allergic conditions we talked about.
Okay, so they had their two groups based on avocado consumption and then looked at the allergy outcomes in their babies. What did they find?
The results were quite interesting. They found that infants born to mothers who ate avocados during pregnancy had a significantly lower chance of developing food allergies by the time they were 1 year old.
Oh, wow. How much lower was the risk?
About 43.6% lower compared to the babies of mothers who didn't eat avocados. And this difference was statistically significant even after adjusting for other factors that could influence allergy risk.
43.6%. That's a pretty substantial reduction. Can you put those percentages into real numbers to help us grasp the scale of this difference?
Sure. In the group of children whose mothers ate avocados, only 2.4% developed food allergies by 12 months of age. In contrast, 4.2% of children in the non-consumer group developed food allergies.
So almost double the rate of food allergies in the non-avocado group. That's quite a difference. What about those other allergic conditions? Did they find any connection to avocado consumption?
There was an initial indication that maternal avocado consumption might be associated with a lower risk of paroxysmal wheezing in the infants, but this link weakened after adjusting for other factors and was no longer statistically significant.
Okay, so no clear connection there.
Right. And as for rhinitis and eczema, the study didn't find any significant associations with maternal avocado intake. So it seems the strongest link they observed was specifically with a reduced risk of food allergies.
Fascinating. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the implications of this research. What might these findings mean for expectant parents and our understanding of the link between maternal diet and allergies?
Well, this research adds to a growing body of evidence suggesting that what a mother eats during pregnancy can significantly impact her child's health, particularly when it comes to allergies. We already know that certain dietary patterns, like the Mediterranean diet, might have protective effects.
Right, and some individual foods, like apples, have also shown potential benefits in previous research.
Exactly. And now avocados seem to be joining that list of potentially protective foods. This study suggests that even simple dietary choices, like including avocados, could potentially offer a considerable benefit against food allergies.
That's quite compelling. But what might be the reason behind this potential protective effect? Why would avocados have this impact?
Researchers believe the answer might lie in the avocado's rich nutritional profile. They're a good source of monounsaturated fats, fiber, and various antioxidants, all of which play crucial roles in immune system development and function.
Can you give us a bit more detail about the specific nutrient content of an avocado?
Sure. One avocado provides around 13.3 grams of monounsaturated fatty acids, 9.5 grams of fiber, 2.6 milligrams of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant, and about 0.93 milligrams of zinc, another nutrient vital for immune function.
Okay, so a decent amount of these beneficial nutrients in just one avocado, but how could these nutrients be contributing to a lower risk of food allergies in infants? What's the proposed mechanism here?
There are a few potential explanations. One theory suggests that the antioxidants present in avocados might influence the development of T cells in the fetus. These cells are essential for the immune system's ability to distinguish between harmless substances and potential threats like allergens. Another possibility is that the high fiber content of avocados influences the mother's gut bacteria, which we're now learning can impact the development and maturation of the baby's immune system.
So the mother's gut health could play a role in the baby's allergy risk.
Exactly. And finally, monounsaturated fats have also been shown to have immunomodulatory effects, meaning they can help regulate the immune response. So it's likely a combination of these factors working together.
This all sounds very promising, but it's important to acknowledge that every study has its limitations. What should we be mindful of when interpreting these findings?
Absolutely. One important limitation is that the study relied on self-reported dietary intake and allergy diagnoses. While the questionnaires used were detailed, there's always a chance of recall bias or some level of inaccuracy in self-reported data.
That makes sense. Our memories aren't perfect, and people might not always accurately remember everything they ate or their child's symptoms.
Precisely. Another thing to remember is that while the study focused on avocados, it's possible that avocado consumption is a marker for other healthy dietary or lifestyle habits that weren't fully captured, even though they adjusted for overall diet quality. It's hard to isolate the impact of just one food.
So there could be other contributing factors that weren't measured in this study.
Right. Plus, this study focused on a specific population, women giving birth at one hospital in Finland. And a significant number of initially recruited participants were excluded due to missing data, which could potentially limit how generalizable the findings are to other populations.
Okay, so a geographically limited sample size. And we also need to remember that this was an observational study, so we can't definitively prove cause and effect. There might be other unmeasured factors influencing both avocado consumption and the development of allergies.
Exactly. This study highlights a fascinating association, but it's not proof that eating avocados directly causes a reduction in food allergies.
So where do we go from here? What do the researchers and other experts in the field think about these findings, and what kind of future research is needed?
The researchers are cautiously optimistic. They acknowledge the limitations, but emphasize the potential protective effect they observed. They call for further research in other populations, long-term studies, to see if these effects last beyond 12 months, and investigations into whether avocado consumption could impact other allergic conditions later in childhood.
So this is a promising start, but more research is needed to confirm and expand upon these findings.
Exactly. It's an important piece of the puzzle, but we need more pieces before making broad recommendations.
So for our listener, what's the key takeaway from all of this?
I think the most intriguing aspect of the study is the suggestion that seemingly small dietary choices during pregnancy could have a significant and lasting impact on a child's health. It opens up a whole new way of thinking about the potential benefits of everyday foods that we might not fully appreciate yet.
That's a great point. It makes you wonder what other hidden benefits might be lurking in our pantries.
Absolutely. It highlights the need for more research into the impact of specific foods on maternal and child health.
So for those who are pregnant or planning to become pregnant, what would you advise after learning about this research? Should they be rushing to add avocados to every meal?
While this study is exciting, it's crucial for expectant parents to discuss their dietary choices with their healthcare providers. It's never a good idea to make drastic changes based on one study. Maintaining a balanced and varied diet throughout pregnancy remains the most important recommendation.
Excellent advice. It's about incorporating these findings into a holistic approach to prenatal care. And for those interested in learning more about the specifics of this research, where can they find it?
The full study is published in Pediatric Research. You can find it online using the Digital Object Identifier, which is 10.1038 Chess 41390-025-039-684. That'll lead you straight to the source.
Fantastic. And of course, staying curious and following the latest research in this area is always encouraged.
Definitely. The more we understand about the complex interplay between diet and health, the better equipped we are to make informed decisions.
So wrapping up our deep dive today, we explored a fascinating link between maternal avocado consumption and a lower risk of food allergies in infants. We delved into the study's methodology, findings, limitations, and expert opinions, aiming to give you a clear understanding of this complex topic without overwhelming you.
And we hope this inspires you to continue exploring the fascinating connections between food and well-being.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Health Headliner podcast by Digital. Like and subscribe for more health news and breakthroughs. Stay healthy and informed. See you next time.